Hello, my name is Nanisa Mazara binti Abdullah. My matrix number is 07DK19F1022. What is foundation design? Foundation design is the creation of construction plan for a building foundation. It is a highly specialized function and usually performed by a structural engineer. The foundation is the structural base that stands on the ground and supports the rest of the building. Factor to need consider in foundation design is footing depth and spacing, displaced soil effect, net versus gross soil pressure. It is design soil pressure, erosion, problem for structure adhesion to flowing water, corrosion protection, water table fluctuation. Foundation in sand and silt deposit and foundation on loose and other collapsible soil. Foundation, part of a structural system that supports and anchors the superstructure of a building and transmit its load directly to the earth. To prevent damage from repeated freeze-thaw cycle, the bottom of the foundation must be below the frost line. A foundation is a lower portion of building structure that transfers its gravity load to the earth. Foundations are generally broken into two categories: shallow foundation and a deep foundation. When the concrete dries, they still act like the bones in our body to tie the foundation together. Foundations are buried in the ground and hold building up. The purpose of foundation is to hold up and hold together the structure above. There is a four objective of this report. First, to identify the type of foundation failure, the causes and structural defect due to the failure. Second, to identify the type of remedial work and repair technique to overcome the problem of foundation failure. Third, to identify and determine the failure in an actual case of foundation failure. And the last one is to identify and propose the method of maintenance to prevent the similar foundation failure in the future. New information that highlight in this report is most commonly foundation failure is caused by the movement of expensive and highly plastic soil beneath different sections of the foundation footing. This movement of soil can be in the form of shrinkage, which causes settlement, or expansion, which causes hail. Foundation failure due to the soil movement. When water present between soil particles is removed, the water tends to move closer together. When the water is absorbed by soil, the soil starts to swell. This movement of soil is based on the type of soil. Soil movement can occur due to presence of vegetation or remains of the oil-cut tree, presence of mining areas and scratchable soils. Remedies for foundation failure due to soil move is use of pile foundation where the soil is scratchable, so that force are transferred to the hard starter or rock. Taking the foundation levels down to avoid foundation of scratchable soils. Presence of any mining areas need to be inspected and professional help shall be taken while the construction new building in such area. The scope of the research is to identify causes and remedial of the foundation failure. Foundation failure may be the causes of breaking in building or house. The type of failure, causes, and effect will be determined through the analysis and assessment and identification. The type of remedial work has been done, including the suggestion of suitable method of foundation maintenance in building or house to prevent loss.
Hello, my name is Mary San Juan and I will be presenting starting from the description. The scope of the study can be described as a literature review of the types of foundations, the deficiencies of foundations, the causes, the types of defects, and the types of remedial works. The scope of the study consists of a site-based and building condition review when failure has occurred. Next, the causes of foundation failures. Now, there are a few types of foundation failures. One being settlement, and we have uniform settlement, tipping settlement, and differential settlement. Now, there are a few causes to why foundation fails. One of them being evaporation, plumbing leaks, transpiration, drainage, poor building site preparation, poor ground preparation, and poor soil conditions. Next is the categories of damage. Now we have structural damage and opening distortion. So, the types of remedial works consist of site investigation, testing and monitoring, shoring, and underpinning. Now, for underpinning, there are a few methods. One being traditional underpinning, needle and piles method, pin-forward stool method, and jacked pile underpinning. Problem statement. The foundation of the building was also designed to take into account the condition of the site and, in addition to the loads carried out to prevent failures, environmental factors are involved. The issue often occurred to the building, such as residential construction, is the foundation movement, such as settlement. Problems appear because of the motion, and deformation of the building is unavoidable. There will be cracks in walls, floors, and other structural building defects. If the foundation movement becomes worse, the defects get larger. Not all occupants are alert to the incident. Patching the wall cracks will be one of the solutions for several occupants when they notice the damage. This condition will have an impact on the building occupant and can be hazardous, the destruction and caused by the collapse of the building. That is why awareness of foundation issues is so relevant to individuals, because it occurs in order to prevent unnecessary matters. To classify the forms, origins or causes, and defects of foundation failure are very substantial. Anticipation can be obtained earlier to decide whether the most effective remedial works can be implemented by understanding all of this.
Hi, my name is Eli Hana Batrisha binti Sufyan, and my matrix number is 07DKA19F1011, and I'm here today to explain about evaluation of case study. So the first one is summary of analysis and design method. Based on the case study's description, it is found that the residential building in Chennai, Tamil Nadu, India, has a foundation failure of a differential settlement. There were cracks surrounded the wall, and it happens due to the soil underneath the structure expands, contracts, or moves. A few types of design methods we use to overcome the failure. First, to minimize the damage, it is important to conduct a thorough site investigation prior to any construction. The problematic ground may cause the experienced damage in the future. That may be due to a weak foundation that may not sustain the weight of the building or the pressure of the ground around the foundation. So, it is essential to check the site before the foundation is designed, which can avoid any risk and can help find the best solution. Next, testing and monitoring also play the important roles in design method. Without testing, it is difficult or impossible to understand what is working and what needs enhancement. Monitoring serves as an early warning system that allows compliance professionals to identify sooner rather than later potential issues. In this case, by using testing and monitoring method, we can identify types of failure and how to overcome it easily. Since shoring used as a temporary support, it can be utilized when walls crack due to unequal settlement of foundation and repairs must be carried out. It comes from shore, timber or metal props such as wood, steel, and scaffolding. Shoring must be provided for enough floors to develop the needed capacity to support the imposed load without excessive stress or deflection. Underpinning is the direct support of an existing building foundation. It provides the opportunity to preload to limit settlement and improve poor foundation. When a structure starts showing signs of settlement or distress, it is utmost importance to precisely monitor the settlement or movement by a professional on a daily, weekly or monthly basis, depending on the severity of the movements. Number 2. Comparison between case studies result analysis. Based on the site investigation works carried out, it shows that both of the building isn't fully supported and has damage, which is crack surrounded the walls due to environmental factors. From the soil and foundation information data given, it is expected that the failure may be due to the moisture of soil. Meanwhile, the same failures also happened in 88 unit houses Taman Tunas Muda. A few tests was carried out to identify the type of soil and causes of the failures. It is found that environmental factor was the main cause to these failures. The chart shows the average value of soil that was taken during the standard penetration test is not suitable and acceptable to carry heavy loads from the structure. Another environmental factors that lead to these failures is weather condition. The water level increased during the rainy season and decreased in the dry season. It can affect the characteristic of soil and will reduce the strength of that soil. It will easily shrink and also expand when it is in high moisture condition. Third, summary of problem-solving recommendation. The failures of the foundation have a large impact to the building structure, so a proper maintenance for soil and foundation stability will help to prevent the soil movement to take place. Throughout research and case studies, we are able to learn and understand a few types of causes and categories of the foundation failures, including the types and design method to overcome the problems of the foundation failures.
For the implication, failures in construction often happens. This matter is considered very important to happen because it guides and helps workers at site to improve their work. It also motivates workers to deliver better quality of construction work. From the case study, we have learned that it is best to avoid sites that are prone to moisture. The soil at site must always be taken into account. It is best to avoid expansion or consolidation from poor soils such as organic soils and rubble, as this will lead to failure of foundation. From the article, we know that the cracks are first noticed by residents in the year 2008. Due to evaporation, hot and dry conditions can cause the soil to shift away from the base. Settlement due to the moisture imbalance of the base caused the cracking at the residential building. The foundation is a supportive link between building and the land. They transmit the structure back to the earth. Around the same time, however, any ground movement is transferred back to the structure. If the base has not been able to transfer this movement, it will have an impact on the distortion which will cause damage to the building structure. This movement related to the behavior of the soil, including the capacity of the soil to withstand structural loads.
So, the conclusion of this report is there is a 7 factor that causing bad foundation. Among them is moisture change, temperature change, elastic deformation, creep movement, consolidation erosion, movement due to chemical reaction, and land placement. That's all from us. Thank you.